The issue that really brought Valera Health into being was how the mental health care system in the US is really broken. Patients that have a medical issue, a chronic medical issue, as well as a mental health issue, they tend to cost 3 times as much as patients with just medical issues. I was introduced to a couple of my co-founders when I was an intern in residency. We were all very excited by the idea of using technology to improve how mental health is delivered. We help patients who are at risk of suffering from mental illnesses. We download an app on their smartphone, and it tracks specific metrics on that smartphone. So how many steps they take, how many text messages they send, even how often they log into Facebook, or how many hours of sleep they get. Let's say you take about 10,000 steps a day, you send 100 text messages a week, you sleep 7 hours a night. Week 2, week 3 comes along and you're texting way less, you're not walking around as much, and you're not sleeping as well. Something wrong is happening. At the very beginning, what happens is we work with hospitals and insurance companies to screen patients, and then using our specific algorithms, we find patients who are likely going to show up in the emergency room or get hospitalized or have concerns, and that's how we identify the target population. Patients are very receptive to this kind of intervention, and they really like the fact that we are collecting information and then giving it back to them as advice. I see a lot of patients who become depressed. They don't talk to anyone anymore, they stop using their cell phones, and then things just get worse and worse and worse until they show up in the hospital. The idea is that we can hopefully prevent that from happening. That situation is terrible for everyone. It's bad for the patient, that's increased suffering. It's bad for insurance companies, it costs a lot of money. And it's bad for doctors who have to manage an increasingly sick patient population. There certainly is a shortage of psychiatric care all across the country right now, and I think one of the major reasons that hospitals want to work with us right now is because we make their care more efficient. The patient is giving us all this data, and you might ask, what happens to all this data? Well, there are a group of case managers who are looking at the data and detecting and triaging where these patients should go. Maybe they need a psychiatric consult. Maybe the problem could be resolved right there and then. Maybe they need a referral to their primary care doctor. And the idea is that they're sitting in front of their computer, seeing all this data. This makes their care much more efficient. The current system is really failing, so if we can somehow use technology to make care more preventative, this would significantly increase the quality of care while reducing costs.